Hi, welcome to this tutorial on openREGGUI. In this tutorial, I will show how to use the graphical user interface. So to start the graphical user interface, you have to use the REGGUI function with parameter GUI and 1. Then you have to select the data repository, which is the repository where you will store all the patient data, images, and so forth. Then the graphical user interface is displayed. So let's import some data, some images into it by using File, Import, RT Image and Contours. So I go into CT and I select the structure sets. Then I have to choose a name for the image. Let's call it CT. And then I will have to select which contours I want to import because there is a list of contours. And I will select patient, the lung contours, and the PTV. These data are then displayed in the graphical user interface in coronal, sagittal, and axial views. If I want to navigate, I can click on the Link Views button. There are blue crosses, and I can just click in the image to navigate within the volume. I can also use the ISO button just to navigate to the ISO center of the image or to the ISO center of a treatment plan. So let's now import some dose. I go back to File, Import Image. On the bottom right, I choose 3D dose files, and I select the DICOM dose file here. Let's call it dose. Then, because the dose is not in the same voxel grid as the image, I have to choose between loading as a data, so without resampling, but not in the same workspace, or convert to image, that means in the same voxel grid as the image, or to register with a rigid registration to the image. In this case, because the dose is already registered, I can just convert to image, and the dose is converted with the same voxel grid as the image. If I want to display the dose in fusion with the CT, I can use in white the CT as primary image and in yellow here the dose as secondary image. Then I click on the fusion button to be in fusion mode, and I can also change the scale. Let's go from 0 to 60 gray. I can of course do the same in the other views. Okay, if I want to resample all these, that means the image, the contours which are loaded as binary masks, and the dose, I can click on resample all here and change, for instance, the spacing. Let's choose isotropic voxel size of 2 by 2 by 2 millimeters. And all these volumes will then be resampled and redisplayed in the new resolution. Here it is. Then we can create a vector field, a deformation vector field, using create random field, fully random, some smoothness, and call it F, like field. Here it is displayed on the image. Now let's apply this field to deform the image by using algorithm image filters deformation, selecting the CT to be deformed and selecting the field to be used. And let's call the result CT def. CT def is then displayed. And if I want to compare the deformed CT with the original CT, I can choose difference mode here. And as secondary image, I can choose the original image. And we can see just the difference between the original and the deformed images in intensities. I can also save the project with all images using File, Save, and choosing a place to save the project, so that I will be able to use File Open the next time I launch the graphical user interface to come back to the same workspace. Thank you for listening.